Am I good? All right, should I go? Is it live? Yeah, it's live. Okay. All right. Hi, this is Phil from ATM Mastermind Group page and PDQ Merchant Enterprises, and we're going live like we do every other Monday night at 6 Central Time. Today's topic is security, and we're going to talk about when you're in the ATM business. So, for you guys who are just joining us, if you have any questions as I go through the security part of it, just raise your hand or jump on and just make a comment or ask a question. And if this is helpful, please put fire emojis in the chat if you guys want to participate in the live. So today's topic is security, and we're going to go over a bunch of different measures from securing the ATM in the location to best practices when you're loading an ATM to how you handle the money, how you try to blend in the crowd. So let's say the first thing. So the first level of security, I believe, is securing the ATM into the location. So how you do that is this is like an anchor that we use in the ATM. So almost every ATM has 4 bolts or 4 holes in the bottom end. Gen Mega has 6. When they used to have Triton ATMs had a different pattern, and Gen Mega came out and mirrored Triton's pattern on the bottom. So if you flipped out a Triton, you could put a Gen Mega in there, and away you go. So Knowledge Shosung has 4 bolts. That's pretty much standard. They didn't care if you removed a Triton, you have to drill new holes. So what we do is we drill into the floor, usually about 3.5 inches. And then what we do is, if it's cement, with this anchor, and then we follow it up with the washer like this, and then this nifty little thing right here that goes over the top, and then it'll reinforce the ATM. Now, I'm a big proponent of putting 4. Some guys only use 2. I don't know why. They got 4 holes, but some use 2. Some guys, they decided that they didn't want to bolt down the ATM. They just put sandbags in the ATM, or they put weights in the bottom of the ATM. And so it's, I guess, however your preference is, we bolt everything down. I believe that if you bolt it down, it has a lesser chance to start walking away. Another thing we started doing is we started adding in weights into the ATM just to make it more sporty for the guys who want to steal an ATM. You know what? I don't want to make it easy for them. I want them to struggle. I got to struggle to make money, let them struggle to steal my money. So what we started doing is throwing in weights. So if they decide to come in and somehow they have enough time to try to steal the ATM, they're gonna have a struggle to get it out of the location. Just make it as hard as possible for them to get it out of the location. We did go to bigger bolts, and during the Summer of Love back in 2020 here in Chicagoland, we saw a lot of our ATM brothers be vandalized. So we decided to beef up our security measures by adding these heavier bolts and adding weights in the bottom of the ATM. We had a couple ATM partners, friends more like, in the Philadelphia area. Then during the Summer of Love, they were also being targeted. Just side note, the ATM industry is introducing legislation into Congress, U.S. Congress, to make it a federal crime for vandalizing and or stealing an ATM. Hopefully that gets passed this session or in the springtime. We're working very diligently to try to make that happen. Hopefully our our congressmen and women decide that that's a valid point, and that we can get that a federal crime. That way, they have to go to federal court. It makes it a little more easy, harder for them to get released on their own recognizance. The great state of Illinois has made it a decision that no cash bail, but this would make it a federal crime. So those no cash bails would not apply, because now it's a federal instead of a local. So we're hoping that that gets passed, and our ATM partners throughout the industry have been working real close with the legislation to make that happen on a good note. Now, so the first thing that I recommend is to bolt down your ATM and secure it as best you can. Now, for those of you who, let's say, Phil, I don't have cement, I have wood. The best course of action is always to go into the basement and go up and put bolts in the bottom of the ATM, so that way it's secure. We also put a reinforcement of steel in the ATM. There are a couple ATM security measures that other companies have put. They put like an X, so make it very difficult. So if they're prying one side up, all four sides don't come up. It makes it very steady and strong to secure your ATM. After all, ATM costs thousands of dollars. You got thousands of dollars in the ATM, and what you want to do is you want to make it as difficult as possible and is as secure as possible, because again, you have money in the ATM. So those are our recommendations for bolting it down. The other thing is where are you going to place the ATM? If you look, some of the best places to put the ATM from a visibility spot is right in front of the door if you're in a convenience store or a liquor store. However, that's always a challenge, because it's a great spot for increased transactions, but it's also a spot, if you want, it's challenging. It makes it easier, depending on the location and what's in front of the store, to do what we call a smash and grab. There's been I would say less smash and grabs than I've ever seen before, a lot less, but it still does happen from time to time. When you put an ATM in there in the front of the store, a lot of times what thieves can do is they can smash the window, the alarm goes off, usually alarms on 30 seconds to a minute. They can put a chain around the ATM, and now with their pickup truck or a truck, they can pull that ATM. If you don't have it secure to the best of its ability, it makes it easier to pull that ATM out. Then they pull it out, then they load it back in the back of a truck, and they go off. I've seen a lot of videos where they've done that. And now one of the questions that I would have is, I see the license plates are always there, and I can see a lot of times you can see the people who steal the ATMs. You can see their faces. People say, you know what? When you talk to a store owner, you say, hey, it's okay, I got cameras. Okay, cameras don't do me any good. I need an alarm system. So one of the things you can either choose to do or you can not to choose to do is put an ATM into a location that doesn't have alarm system. That'll be one of the decisions you have to make. Does the place have cameras? Okay, great. That's an added value. Does the ATM have, or a location have alarm system? Okay, that's another added value. How long is the alarm system? Do they have in front of the store, do they have poles or almost like stoppers, I don't know what you want to call it, that allows it so they couldn't come through and smash into the store? Is that something? I know a convenience store, they put those in front, so they couldn't do that. They also come up with, you can look at, they've got a lot of convenience stores now have rolled down security measures. Liquor stores are starting to do that. They have a lot of inventory as far as booze. Sometimes, and I'm not a tequila drinker, but I've seen these. I talked to liquor store owners. They got $500 to $2,000 for a bottle of tequila. Well, they have maybe $10,000-$15,000 just in tequila up on their top shelf, and they got maybe $100,000 to $200,000 worth of inventory in there of liquor. You know what? They started in a lot of neighborhoods. What they're starting to do is put either the sideways security system as of metal reinforcements, or they put the roll down when they leave at night. That way, it ensures that their product stays safe and in the store. Also ensures that our ATMs stay safe. So I do like that added in security. We have been watching some of these developments through from the summer of love and to other some rising in crime in some cities. And this is a nice added value for us in the ATM business. We try to secure the ATMs again as best we can, but the store is adding extra security. That's also helping in our ATM business. All right. So now you got those measures. Some of the other things that you have are, okay, well, how do I secure my cash in when I'm going from location to location? So one of the things, now it depends on where you're at, what state you're in. Do you want to do a conceal and carry? Do you want to do an open carry? You're in the ATM business, you can absolutely do an open carry if you decide to do that. That way you can, if you want, you can carry a weapon on your side and expose it if that gives you added security. A lot of people say, you know what, I don't want to draw that attention to me, but I want to carry a weapon or something just in case that something does happen, I can protect myself. So some states have conceal and carry. Now, what does that mean is if they have the classes, you go to the classes, you can carry. Another thing you can do is, one of the challenges that for you is, you every time if you're driving, you get pulled over for whatever reason, you have to let the officer know, hey, I have a conceal and carry. This is where the weapon is. I have my permit to do that. And you just let the officer know anytime you get pulled over, hey, I do have a weapon on me. I'm in the ATM. You don't have to say you're in the ATM business, but it always helps. I'll tell you that. Hey, I'm in the ATM business. I have a weapon in the car. I'm carrying it. So you let the officer know if this happens. So, sometimes you're in an ATM business, you're going through different cities. The speed limit changes from time to time. Sometimes you're in an area you're not paying attention. You might have a school zone and you end up getting pulled over. If that happens and you have a conceal and carry, or you're carrying, always let the officer know right away, hey, there is a weapon in the car. I'm in this business. This is what I do. Let them know. They're very, they feel non-threatened. If you're in that environment and you do that, it makes the officer a lot at ease to know, hey, I do have a weapon, to let them know right away. Because if you wait and then they ask, and then it just becomes a little bit of a challenge. The other thing is, I don't know about the other states, but in Illinois, if you have a conceal and carry, you already signed off on it, and the police know that you are or potentially carrying. So as soon as they come up to the vehicle, they already know that you have this conceal and carry. So they're probably going to ask you right away, are you carrying? What's going on? Do you have a firearm on you? Where is it at? And so they can proceed with caution. But you should let them know. Most of the time, and I guess I can't speak for the other states, but in Illinois, that's the process. Other states, I don't know how that process works, if they flag your license or they don't. I don't know. But I just want to let you know that could be a possibility if you decide. Then you have to make a decision. Do I want to carry? Do I not want to carry? What does that look like when I carry cash? Some people I know that are in the ATM business, they're adamant about that. They want to carry. They want to. They feel that that's the best course for their business. Other businesses, they say, you know what, I'm not against guns or possession of guns. It's just not the right avenue for me at this time. I feel that I have less of a chance. We want to just do whatever we can to fly under radar, and we want to come in and out of the location we don't want to carry. So it's just depending on what school of thought, either which way your business is. It'll be a decision that you and your business partner or yourself will have to make. Do we want to go this route with firearms, or do we not want to go this route with firearms? So you just got to make yourself conscious of the decision. And you know what? You can change it at any time. You say, you know what? I think we want to go that route, or you know what? No, I don't want to go that route. Now, okay, so now what's the other situation? I don't believe that, or at least I'm under the school of thought as far as a lot of people, they wear their brand of their company on their shirt. Joe Smith's ATM business. Um, I'm not under that philosophy. I think it's good to market yourself, but not when you're carrying cash. I don't think that's the best avenue, at least from my personal point, to say, hey, I'm in the ATM business and I'm walking into a location. If I'm just out soliciting, absolutely. I think you should brand yourself. You're trying to get new locations. You want to let everybody know who you are and what you do. So that when they're thinking about ATMs, they're thinking about you. However, if you're filling ATMs and you're maybe a one man show or you and your partner, at that time, I think it's the best, at least we're talking from security, and that's what we're talking about on today's live. Best thing to do is to be low key, get in there, maybe not announce yourself, get in, get out, however you decide to fill the ATM, get in, get out, very low key. Always. Now, the other thing is when you approach a location, if you feel at all, sometimes people have sixth sense, not six senses, but the number six senses about, hey, the environment's a little hostile or it's shaky or I'm not feeling very comfortable. We always recommend, get out of that environment as fast as you can. In other words, maybe you don't want to fill the ATM right there. Maybe you want to say, you know what, I think I'm a little uneasy about the situation. Maybe go to lunch, maybe go to the next stop, or maybe go around the block and then come back at a later time um, of the business. So that way, you know what? Don't put yourself in harm's way if you're feeling uneasy about the situation. You know what? Maybe it's time to not fill that ATM and go do something else for a little while and then come back to it. Now, the other thing is maybe you walk in a location, the location's real busy. So you know what? Maybe you're in there and you're doing something else. Maybe you maybe say hi to the owner. Maybe you go check out the back of the store. I don't know, whatever store. Maybe it's a bar. Maybe it's a restaurant. Maybe it's a convenience store. Maybe it's a gas station. Maybe you check something else out. Maybe you put gas in your car. Maybe you sit there in a parking lot a little while and you watch. I have been in locations where I walked in and uh, this last week, the Powerball was way up there, over $1 billion, and places were going crazy. The gas stations and some of the liquor stores and convenience stores, they're selling lottery tickets. There's a lot of people in there. You know what? Man, I've filled some ATMs, and I noticed that, you know what? It's not the best time to be in to the location right now. You know what? We can wait a little while, or we can wait till there's a lull in the crowd, and then come back and fill that ATM. So maybe that's something that you want to do, is you want to come back uh, at a later time and fill the ATM. Maybe it's too crowded. Some people, you know what, they have no problem. They're just going to go in. They're going to fill the ATM. They come out. It just depends on what you want to do and how you're feeling about the filling of the ATM. A lot of times, you can go in, you can fill it. Nobody pays attention. You're in and out in a few seconds and on your way. Other times, you know what, it might take a couple minutes, and you just got to be aware of that, because maybe the paper's jammed, or you see a bunch of rejects in the reject in the reject bin, and you know what, you might want to figure out, well, what happened here, what's going on. So you just gotta be diligent and conscious of what you're doing. The biggest challenge of being in an ATM business is you get comfortable with the environment. You get comfortable with the money. You get comfortable going in and out of spots. And you know what? You always got to be aware of your surroundings and what's going on, because you can't get comfortable of the process. That is when things could happen. I'm not saying it will, but it could happen. And you just got to be aware all the time of what the environment is. I've seen so many times, people just get incomplacent because they're so used to just getting in, doing their thing, and getting out. There ain't no pay attention to the environment. You always have to pay attention to the environment. That's how accidents happen, and you don't want any accidents in the ATM business. All right. Now, there are some added things that you can do. If you have an ATM, maybe the environment's not the best, there are added security measures that you can add to your ATM. We talked about the bolting of the ATM. There's actual bottom enclosures that go around the bottom of the ATM that you can add extra security. you put an ATM. Um, it's kind of like a sleeve that goes around the bottom of the ATM, and then from there you can put a puck lock on there. So you have to take the puck lock off, and then you put and then what you do is you put the uh, then you get into your ATM. This will help for any smash and grabs, eliminate this completely. It also will eliminate anybody who wants to just try to bust it in your ATM and they got a little time. Most of the time, you need to get yourself to at least 5 to 10 minutes, because if most of the places they do have alarms. So once the alarm goes off, oh, once the alarm goes off, the police usually arrive, and this takes care of any and all challenges with your ATM. We've been very fortunate in our career that we've been blessed by not a lot of when there is burglaries, the police usually arrive at a very fast time. God bless our men and women in blue. They have saved the ATMs. I can't tell you how many times, because of their response time, um, and because the store owner had an alarm. And in some places, they didn't even have an alarm, but we put an ATM in there. And you know what? There was just patrol officers just looking around the neighborhood. They saw something suspicious. They went in and they stopped a burglary. I'm not necessarily saying they came there to get the ATM. They just burglarized the place, and our ATM was there, but we didn't lose our ATM. Maybe they were trying to rob something else. And and God, I always do that. And it's at that time, when you're at the end of the day. So they try to rob the spot, and we get lucky because somebody showed up and checked out uh, the um, location. All right, so now you're carrying some money. You have some money on you. You're going from a few stops to a few stops. Now there might be a couple schools of thought. One of the schools of thought is you could put safes in your car. You could hide them under the seat. They can go in the trunk. They can go in a column. They can go in the glove compartment. So I've seen a lot of people, they decide, you know what, I'm going to put a safe in my car. I'll put the money in the car. Ooh, sorry. I'm going to put the money in the car, and then I'm just going to take the money for the stop, and I'm going to go to the location, grab the money, put the money in, and then come back to the car. Other people, they decide, you know what, I don't want any money in the car. I'm going to take the money with me and take that in the store. So you'll have to make that decision depending on what kind of route you're going to run for your ATM business. One of the things I do suggest is don't be the same pattern. So you might have one route. Let's call it, you got 6 stops, 1 through 6. Maybe on Tuesday you run 1 through 6. Maybe the next time you run the route, maybe not a Tuesday, but maybe it's a Wednesday or Thursday, you run the route 6 through 1, and then maybe you mix it up. That way, the same time, the same date on a different pattern, so you can't be easily targeted. You want to mix the route up. You want to mix the times up. You want to mix the locations up. Sometimes it's not most economical from a logistics standpoint, but safety is our main concern when you're in the ATM business. And from a safety standpoint, those are the kind of things you want to do. You do not want to be on a pattern. You do not want to be in a pattern. You want to be always different of what you do and how you do it. So those are the things you want to make sure that you do is flip the route around, run it at different times, run it at different dates, and this will ensure that your company and you stay safe into the ATM business. All right. The other thing is when you also, if you can, sometimes you can, sometimes you can't, is I would switch vehicles. So maybe you have, let's say if you're just starting out, maybe you have one vehicle, maybe your girlfriend or your wife or your husband or your boyfriend, they have a car. You know what? Try to switch that car out from time to time, because then the vehicle changes. And again, I highly recommend not wearing a logoed shirt. So now you got your just, if you can wear darker colors, change the route around, change the vehicle around. You'll have to make a decision if you're carrying the money in your car or you're not. But those things will help out when you are running your ATM route. Now, Let's say you're doing a mobile event. That's a whole different animal in its entirety. Okay, so I want to put an ATM into a fair or festival. What do I do, Phil? Well, one of the suggestions I do is I would buy chains to chain it to something. So either a street, depending on where you're at, but a fair or festival, to a street pole would be one, to a telephone pole would be two. A lot of times in a mobile event, they're going to have things that are those big, those big cement things, like you'll see on the highway. A lot of times they'll bring those in. You want to see, you can secure your ATM. You can ask, hey, can you bring me one of those cement pylons? I want to secure my ATM to that. So we have secured the ATMs to those things. To tents, a lot of times they'll put the tents up. We'll secure the ATM to the tents, and you're going to ask to the venue, do you have security? And what does that look like? Sometimes they have 24/7 security from the time the event starts, the time that this event closes. There's security on property. Usually there's on property. Usually there's or not undercover, but off-duty county police officers, city police officers, state police officers, along with people helping with security. Wearing security vests and security shirts. That all helps with your security of the ATM. One of the things you got to ask them when you get a mobile event, what kind of security do you have? Is it 24 hours? We do events where they say, no, we don't have 24 hours security. We have a drive-by patrol officer. Well, to me, that doesn't do me any good. I mean, it's good to have security when the event is there, but when there's no event and at night, what do I do? My ATM's still there. We have money in the ATM. What do we do? So what we choose to do, and you can run any way you want. So we choose to take the money out at night during those events. They say there's security drive-by. Again, that's not on property. So to me, it's, and don't forget, you're usually there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Those are busy nights as far as the police are concerned. They have a lot of issues, and there's probably not enough of police on duty for those times. The last thing they care about is the fair or festival. They have other issues. People are getting hurt. There's traffic accidents. People are living, could be hurt real bad in a traffic accident. Your ATM is not even in their wheelhouse of concerns. So what do you do to protect yourself? What you do to protect yourself is you take the money out at night. So that means you go there in the morning, you put the money in. Almost every time somebody's there on property to watch. Usually if you go with two people, that's always best. But if you only only you doing it by yourself, you're going to put the money in. Usually you go up to security. Hey, can you watch me? Usually nobody's there in the morning. You put the money in. Then at night, when in the evening comes, you ask usually the police officers or the security guards there at night, hey, can you watch my back? I want to take the money out at night. You take the money out at night, and away you go. So that's how that works. Now, if you're blessed to have security 24/7 into a mobile event, then you don't usually have too much to worry about because there is people on property. But that'll be a decision you'll have to make when you get a mobile event. I highly encourage you to do mobile events. They're very cash lucrative. For a short amount of time, you can make thousands of dollars. Very good, but there is some extra work because now you will have to put the money in the morning and take the money out at night. So, and if it's a multi-day event, sometimes they're just a one-day event. They start at 5, they go to midnight. So you're only there for 6 hours. You pick the ATM up and you just pick the ATM up at night. And then what does that look like? You know what? If you can have somebody help you with that, that's great. That makes life a little easier to have that extra person to watch your back while you're bringing the ATM. But if you don't have that opportunity, again, always ask the people there for security. They're there. They can help you with the mobile events, and they can also help you with as far as loading the ATM up. So just wanted to let you know on that. So I hope this has been helpful for everybody tonight. I just want to thank you very much for joining. And then if this has been helpful, just please put let me see what else we got. Just put some fire emojis in the comments. Show up on stream. This is an example. Click here below. Okay. Show. Let's see. What we got. View comments. Show stream. Okay. All right. So okay. So if this has been helpful tonight, just give me some fire emojis that this has been helpful. Again, this is Phil from PDQ Merchant Enterprises, NEATM Mastermind Group page. We have a mastermind course that teaches you from A to Z how to be successful in the ATM business. We'll have the link down below if you guys are interested. We're here every other Monday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, answering any questions, giving advice, and trying to help you guys get better in the ATM business. Okay, we got one question. What days are the best for searching for locations? I work 10 hours days and off at 4:45 p.m. Monday through Friday. Anytime you got DS, anytime you got time, is a good time. What you want to do is you want to just look for an opportunity and then approach whoever's in the store, or if it's a convenience store, gas station, whoever's there is you're going to ask them, hey, we're in the ATM business, and we provide ATMs free of charge for a location. We provide you with a commission, and they don't have to do anything. So you know what? There's not the best time. I'm always constantly searching for an ATM location. Doesn't matter if my wife, I think I drive my wife nuts because every time we go somewhere, I go out of my way to see if we stop and get gas, or I go into a different liquor store, a different convenience store, or a restaurant, or in a bar, I'm always looking, hey, do they have an ATM? If they do, who is it? Is it out of order? Is it not out of order? So I'm always looking. I never stop, looking for an ATM. I think, like I said, I drive my wife nuts because I'll get up and I'll go to the washroom, wash my hands, and I'm checking out the place, trying to be sneaky with her, but she knows I'm not sneaky. And she said, oh, like, do they have an ATM? Where's it at? And whose is it? And it's always the same. So I'm like, oh, you noticed that? She goes, yeah, I did notice that. So, but you know what? You search as much as you can, whenever you can. You're just trying to build some extra revenue for you and your family, and do the best you can. So whenever you got an opportunity, and let other people know that, hey, I'm in the ATM business. So, all right. Well, thanks. Again, if you guys could put a fire emoji, if just to let me know that I'm doing a good job, that's great. We have our YouTube channel. You guys can comment. You see, you have any questions with that, always comment. And we have our mastermind group page. So thank you guys very much for joining tonight. I hope I helped you, and we will see you in 2 weeks at the same time, 6 Central Standard Time. And hopefully we can have another conversation. Thank you guys very much. Now we're going to go over to the student group for some student questions. Thank you.